Or going road tripping.
Road tripping to figure out what the F these Republicans are doing. What is ICE doing with these children in these detention centers? So we're going to go figure out with Jasmine Crockett and with Representative Castro at the Dilley Center what is happening with Liam and all these children. So more to come, right, Melissa?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. So we're about an hour and a half away from the detention center, and I'm with Melissa, who's driving, who's being so nice to drive because I'm exhausted. But let's ask her something. Melissa, why is it important for you to come out here to the detention center where they're holding Liam, this 5-year-old child?
Because as a mother and seeing this child and the way they're treating him, I think it's important to bring awareness to the community.
I'm here at the Dilley Facility Center outside of San Antonio where 5-year-old Liam is being held from Minnesota. And this is one of many detention centers here in Texas. We're waiting for Representative Joaquin Castro and Jasmine Crockett to come out and give us an update of what is happening and what they're seeing. We did see a viral video go out on Saturday where the families in here were screaming and chanting and were protesting. And it's being reported that some of them were disciplined and locked in their rooms. So there's a lot of things that we don't know. Again, these representatives had to wait 7 days after they requested before they could just have oversight and come in, which is part of their role as a representative for the people. So we have over 200 people marching here from down the ways. I'm not sure how far they are walking, but they are coming from Dallas, from Houston area, different organizations. So we have a lot of questions, and I hope we get some answers today. But we want people in Minnesota to know that we are in this together with them, that Texas is standing up to this fascist regime, and let's see where we go from here. But it's going to take each and every one of us to do our part. And fuck ICE. Second warning. You gave a first warning to get behind the first line. Now a second warning. But right now I am with State Rep
Linda Garcia from Dallas County.
And what's going on, Representative Garcia? Why are you here?
JC, I want us to just take a moment here because the last time you and I saw each other, we were fighting a redistricting fight. And we stress and the energy level that was taking place there, it was right before we broke quorum. And now here we are. Things have gotten severely terrible. And I want us to process all of the things that are happening. I know it's hard and I know we want to suppress it, but we have American citizens dying right now on the streets and immigrants alike. Inside this facility, we have Liam Ramos and other children and children that have been separated from their mothers, like Liam. And I think about my son, Benicio. I think about what he needed when he was 5 years old. And my heart, I cannot fathom. It's too much. And I know that I understand I don't have power on a federal level, but I have legs and a heart, and I'm here. I can make it here. I have the time, and I'm here just to let them know that we are with them. Listening to their cries on Friday was awful.
Well, thank you for being here, and I think it's going to take each and every one of us, especially state reps, state senators, to really continue to voice what is going on and what is happening in Texas, because this is one of several detention centers that we have here. And it took these reps 7 days to even be able to get inside. So.
Which is unconstitutional, by the way. That is against the law. As a federal, as a congressman, you should be able to walk into these facilities the drop of a dime. You show up and they're supposed to let you in. So the fact that Trump has stopped that and has placed a 7-day hold before anyone can get in tells us that there's something seriously wrong. What are they trying to cover up in 7 days?
Well, let's see what happens. I am with Senator
Nathan Johnson and candidate for Attorney General Nathan Johnson, here in both capacities.
And why is it important for you to be here today and to lend the support?
We've got most likely multiple people being held in that facility in violation of the United States Constitution, that the federal government is violating our own laws and incarcerating little kids and moms and dads, violation of our own standards. And I think we need to direct attention to this. We've seen around the country that when we have enough people engaged and informed with the awful things that are happening, there is a reversal. We can reverse this stuff. So I'm partly here to bring that attention, and I'm partly here to try to get some answers, right? It's really hard to get them from afar. We're here now. We've got members of Congress who are inside. They're going to come out. They're going to have press conferences. But we're here. We're able to talk. I was denied access to the place, which is expected. I really want to just get closer to the situation, both as a state senator. I'm charged not just with my district, but with all 31 people in this state. Mm-hmm. And as a candidate for Attorney General, I think we have an Attorney General that ought to be involved in this right now, that ought to be calling out the federal government, possibly probably suing the federal government over breaking our own laws. He's not. So I want the legal issues to be highlighted at the same time. Covering so much good, and I don't know if, do you feel the way I do, that it's almost exhausting? We can't go half a day with something else bad happening that we have to respond to.
Yeah, I feel like every day it's just something new, something outrageous, something that we, maybe a year ago, were like, that would never happen. But many people were saying this was gonna happen, and now we're here outside this facility waiting to see what's happening with this 5-year-old.
And you're talking about individual rights of immigrants, and there may be people out there that are saying, hey, this is some broad immigration purge that we really need, so we'll put up with a few constitutional violations here or there. But I want to remind everybody, whatever you feel about this, when constitutional rights become optional for some people, they become optional for everybody. And we don't want that. None of us.
¡Liberan los niños! ¡Liberan los niños!
How many convictions do y'all have? How bad are these folks? Oh, no. You can't be here and have a record. Y'all, I can't tell you how many innocent, precious children we talk to. We talk to a 16-year-old, and one of my staffers says, man, the level of maturity on that kid. That kid had about 4 younger siblings and his mom. They had been there for 8 months. When we walked in, they gave us a packet and it said the average detention time was 28 days. We didn't meet anybody who had been there for less than probably 2 months.
Donald Trump ran for the presidency, saying he was going to go after, quote, the worst of the worst. Today, he is holding a 5-year-old in a prison. Last year, they arrested 3,800 minors.
Happening because what we know is that there is an effort to censor the criticism, the negativity, the truth that is happening with these ICE raids, that is happening with these children who are being taken. We experienced it ourselves. We tried posting it on social media, on TikTok. We were shadow banned from posting criticism of ICE. That's why it is so important we're here to speak out. First,
in the last 48 hours, Senator Ted Cruz told the president, you're losing the narrative on immigration. Change up the language. We're losing credibility. We have a governor of this state who has now said we need to recalibrate the tactics of Minnesota, which I think is rich, coming from a governor who put barbed wire on the border, buoys in the water, and now oversees a police force that is shooting tear gas into crowds of peaceful protesters, many of them from a church.
Greg Abbott opposes red flag laws. And he says so because he's concerned about the due process rights of the gun owner. And yet, he has no concern for the lack of due process of Liam and everyone else there.
If you're going to be an architect of this kind of viciousness and brutality and inhumanity, then you should have the guts to go to these facilities like Dilley and sit face to face, eye to eye with these kids and tell them why you believe they belong there. I believe that we should disband ICE. Yes. I support the impeachment of Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
And I don't believe the Senate or the House or Congress should give another dime to ICE in this appropriations bill.
I'll let you watch this scene unfold here as we're kind of watching it unfold as well, but state troopers starting to push back. I saw some, there we go.
So today's been a really heavy day for you. Can you tell me a little bit about what happened and what you observed today?
It's been a few years since I've been in Dilley, but it's a depressing experience. Nobody in there is a criminal. And Donald Trump talked about deporting, quote unquote, criminal illegal aliens. There isn't a single criminal among those 1,100 people. There's dozens, if not hundreds of kids among the 1,100, as young as 2 months old. And it's just a vicious and a brutal, dehumanizing system that we have, both on the street, what we see from ICE, and how they're treating even American citizens, and then the detention of a 2-month-old and a 5-year-old like Liam, who are suffering from mental health problems, some of them losing because they're not eating. They haven't been given any schooling. In 2025, Dilley had no schooling offered for any of the kids there. They said that they're going to start in March, but it didn't sound like they have solid plans for that either. So Liam should be released, and so should all those other kids in detention. And I think, as I've said, ICE should be disbanded. We shouldn't be using private prison companies to detain people like this. So all in all, it's a tough experience. And my challenge to Donald Trump and Stephen Miller would be, if they want to put in place these vicious policies, they should go into those facilities and look the kids in the eye, look that young little 3-year-old girl who kept coming up to me asking us to help get her and her family out, look her in the eye and tell her that she's a criminal and tell her that she belongs in a prison setting.
Well, I just want to tell you, Representative Castro, thank you so much for your work. There's a lot of Dems that are afraid to be speaking up right now and be so vocal about what's happening, and you've been a leader in this, and so I really want to thank you, especially being here in Texas and representing us, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Sure.